Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. So Ole Gunnar Solsjaer names 4 formations that Manchester United can use for the Arsenal clash. That is the 4-3-3, a diamond, a 3-4-3 and a 3-5-2. Solskjaer says we have got the squad to execute any tactical plan. And he does mention that we've added Edinson Cavani, Alex Telles and Donny van de Beek to the squad. And he also says, that we've got Marcus Rashford and Paul Pogba back. So that gives us more options tactically. Doesn't it? And there's questions saying, can Bruno and Paul Pogba play in the same team? Ollie believes that Bruno and Paul Pogba can play in the same team because Solskjaer has got a selection dilemma in midfield. Now, a lot of Manchester United fans want to see the diamond today against Arsenal. We went with the diamond against RB Leipzig, didn't we? But Solskjaer has gone a lot with a 4-2-3-1 formation since he got appointed in as Manchester United manager. And I've said to you several times that 4-2-3-1 formation doesn't really seem to suit our standards, does it? But I'm really looking forward to the game today. It is a must-win game for Manchester United. We have not won our last 5 league games at Old Trafford. So we are looking for our first win at Old Trafford in the Premier League this season. Arsenal have not beaten us at Old Trafford in the Premier League since 2006, so that's around 14 years ago. This fixture at Old Trafford last season in the league was 1-1. Arsenal did beat us at the Emirates though by 2-0. So Mikel Arteta has already beaten Ole Gunnar Solskjaer once, so obviously Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is going to want his revenge. Now, today's game is Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's 100th game as Manchester United manager. And obviously, he'll want to win it. Solskjaer has won 56 games as Manchester United manager in all competitions since he got appointed in. By the way, Solskjaer's record after 100 games is going to be better than Sir Alex Ferguson's. So far in the league this season, we've played 5 games. We've won 2, we've lost 2, and we've drawn 1. Haven't we? As for Arsenal, they've played 6 games in the league so far this season. They've won 3 and they've lost 3. Arsenal recently had a good win against Dundalk. They're beating them by 3-0. Mikel Arteta has been Arsenal manager now for around 10 months. And I think when Arsenal appointed him in, he signed a 3-year contract, was it, if I'm right? He won his first trophy with Arsenal last season. Arsenal did win the FA Cup. Arsenal are the most successful team in FA Cup history because they have won 14. Arsenal made a few signings in the summer transfer window. They obviously brought Thomas Partey in, they brought Willian in on a 3 transfer, and they brought Gabriel Magalhaes in. I'm expecting them to be playing today, by the way, for Arsenal. Back in January, Mikel Arteta, I think, made a couple of signings. He brought Pablo Mari in and he brought Cedric Soares in. Didn't he? Arsenal have got quite a few good young players in their team. They've got that Saka. I think, he will be involved today for Arsenal. They've got that Joe Willock, could he be involved? They've got Reece Nelson, he could even be involved. They've got Ede Nketiah, he could also be involved in the game. Like I've said to you, I think one of Arsenal's best players is Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He hasn't been in good form recently, and from an Arsenal perspective, they'll be hoping that he can end his goal drought. But he's still very, very good, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. And Man United have obviously got to keep him quiet. Be interested to see how our defence comes up against him. Lacazette, I also rate him a lot. I think he's a very, very good player. Obviously, Arsenal have got Xhaka, they've got Guendouzi. They've still got Ozil there, haven't they? He's obviously been subjected to transfer speculation. He's aging up now. He's in his 30s, he's Mesut Ozil. Obviously, when Unai Emery was Arsenal's manager, he made quite a few signings. He brought Kieran Tierney in, he brought David Luiz in, he brought William Saliba in, he brought Dani Ceballos in, and he brought Nicolas Pepe in. I do like Nicolas Pepe a lot. I think he's really improved under Mikel Arteta. He didn't settle in at the first, though, Nicolas Pepe, when he went into Arsenal. Arsenal paid quite a bit of money for him. I think they paid around £70 million for him from Lille. Didn't they? Arsenal have lost a lot of good players, though, over the years, haven't I? Like I mentioned on the preview, they lost Sammy Nasri, they lost Jack Wilshere, they lost Aaron Ramsey, they lost Robin Van Persie and Alexis Sanchez to us, didn't they? Don't forget. Was it last year? Koscielny left them, Lichtsteiner left them. I think Danny Welbeck also left them as well. Didn't Mkhitaryan also leave Arsenal? Didn't he join Roma, if I'm right? But yeah. But, this was a very, very good game, Manchester United and Arsenal, when we had Sir Alex Ferguson and when they had Arsene Wenger. Ferguson endured 27 years with us and Wenger endured 22 years with Arsenal. But it's still going to be a good game today, Ole Gunnar Solsjaer versus Mikel Arteta. It really, really is. Now, you saw my video that I did yesterday. I went through with you, didn't I? Who will start for Manchester United? Now, Rashford, I'm expecting him to start this game today. I hope he can start. Rashford didn't start against RB Leipzig, but he did come off the bench and he got a hat-trick, and he became the second Manchester United player to score a hat-trick as a substitute, Marcus Rashford. But he also scored the late winner in Paris, and that's the second time he's done that. By the way, it was Marcus Rashford's birthday yesterday, so he is now the age of 23. Rashford has been a United player since the age of 7. So he's been part of the club for several years, and Rashford's been in our senior squad since 2016. And since then has become an integral part of the team. But aspects of his game have improved. He's scoring goals, he's getting runs in behind, and his finishing has really, really improved. Don't forget, Marcus Rashford scored twice on his Premier League debut against Arsenal back in 2016. Didn't he? Paul Merson was recently talking, and he's urged Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to bench Rashford for today's game. Because maybe Paul Merson believes he makes more of an impact, from the bench rather than starting. Edinson Cavani. He could actually start today, Edinson Cavani. If he does, it will be his full Premier League debut for the football club. Edinson Cavani came on against RB Leipzig. He also came on against Chelsea. And he did very, very well when he came on against Chelsea. He almost scored with his first touch. I've already said to you that Edinson Cavani will be the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic. We got him on a free transfer. He signed a 2-year contract with the club. But we're paying him a substantial amount a week. We're paying him like 220 grand a week. And Edinson Cavani is our new number 7. So there you go. I think Solskjaer's happy for Mason Greenwood to start. I think he probably will start today's game, Mason Greenwood. If we do, will he play centrally or will he play on that right-hand side, Greenwood? Greenwood started against RB Leipzig. Obviously, he was the one that scored the first goal. That was his second goal of the season for Man United, and it was his 59th appearance for the club. This is Mason Greenwood's second season in our senior squad. Last season was his first season in the senior squad. Was it prior to the Chelsea game? Ollie defended Mason Greenwood and blasted our ex-players for criticising him. And he said that the English media are starting to go after him. We had a few issues with Greenwood at the start of the season because he was getting withdrawn from the England squad quite a few times. Wasn't there? At the start of the season, we're given the number 11. He's the fourth Manchester United player to wear that number 11. Like I said to you yesterday, I'm hearing rumours that Juan Mata could be starting this game. I don't want us to start Juan Mata. If we start Juan Mata, that's the wrong decision by Manchester United. I'm not saying Juan Mata's a bad player because he's far from a bad player. I think he's a good player. He's had a good career at Manchester United. He's enjoyed around 6 years or so at the football club. But obviously now he's ageing up. He's lost that yard of pace. And he's done well, to be fair, in the games he's played in this season. Juan Mata has played our last 2 league games. He played in both our Carabao Cup games where he got given man of the match. You can play Juan Mata through the middle and you can play him on the right-hand side. Juan Mata scored 50 goals for Man United since his arrival from Chelsea. And he's made around 260 appearances for the club in all competitions. We paid just under £40 million for him from Chelsea. A few weeks ago now, Juan Mata rejected an £18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia, didn't he? Daniel James, I don't see him starting this game. I'm not going to fully disregard him being involved, but we cannot start Daniel James. We can't. Donny van der Beek looks like he's going to be on the bench for today's game. I'd be very, very surprised if he started. I think we should start him. If we were to start Donny van der Beek, that would be his full Premier League debut for the football club. Donny van der Beek did start against RB Leipzig, and that was his first start in the Champions League for Man United. And to be fair, he did very, very well. He was obviously playing in that number 10 role, and Paul Pogba was playing alongside him. So that just proves Van der Beek and Pogba can play in the same team. Now, Solsjaer was talking about Donny van der Beek prior to the RB Leipzig game. And he says that Donny van der Beek will be an important player for Man United and he will play a big part this year. And he responded to the criticism over the use of Donny van der Beek. Now, Jamie Redknapp has recently said that Solskjaer thinks that Donny van der Beek's not right for the team and obviously he regrets recommending him in to the football club. But I think the games he's played in Donny van der Beek, he's really made an impact. And I expect to see more from him. We paid, £40 million for Donny van der Beek from Ajax. Donny van der Beek signed a 5-year contract with the football club with an option of a further year. And he currently wears that number 34 shirt. Solskjaer's been thinking about where to put him because he can play in like 3 different roles. But his actual predominant position is box to box. Donny van der Beek's. Paul Pogba. Now, the Manchester Evening News said yesterday it's likely he will be on the bench, Paul Pogba. Would you start Paul Pogba, though, in this game today? Paul Pogba did start against RB Leipzig. He was very, very good, by the way, against RB Leipzig. He got the assist for Mason Greenwood's first goal. Didn't he? Solskjaer was talking about Paul Pogba in the press conference building up to the game, and he says that Paul Pogba can do everything. He's backing him to rediscover his form, and Solskjaer's accepted that Paul Pogba is more influential further forward because he has played as a holding midfielder quite a few times, hasn't he, in all of that. But he's versatile, Paul Pogba. If was to start him, then we'd probably play him in more of an advanced role. I don't know, but it's likely that we're not going to start him. I heard. There is a lot of uncertainty, though, regarding Paul Pogba's future at Manchester United, isn't there? There's Man United fans that are expecting him to leave the football club next summer. Now, don't forget, a few weeks ago, we triggered that 1-year extension on Paul Pogba's contract, so that keeps him at the football club until June 2022. And that was confirmed by Fabrizio Romano. I heard that there's been no talks over getting Pogba a new long-term contract at the football club because we warned him a few weeks ago that we will not break our wage structure to keep him at Old Trafford. So we're not willing to pay him what we paid Alexis Sanchez, are we? Don't forget, Paul Pogba recently denied that he'd quit the France national team. That was the other week, I think. And it says he was going to take legal action. Pogba's into his 5th season at the football club since he rejoined from Juventus. He's made over 100 appearances for Man United in all competitions. And he's won 2 trophies with us, and that was the Europa League and the League Cup. Paul Pogba did enjoy a difficult time under the Jose Mourinho era, but so too did all our top players enjoy a difficult time under the Mourinho era. Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid £89 million for him, didn't we? And he's one of the highest paid players at the club because he's on 290 grand a week. For the vast majority of last season, didn't really have a perception on him because he was out with that ankle injury. Sustained a few injuries as a Man United player, and a few weeks ago, Pogba made an admission saying that one day his dream is to join Real Madrid. And last year, Paul Pogba was talking about Real Madrid and Zinedine Zidane, and he said he wanted to leave Man United because he was seeking for a new challenge, Bruno Fernandes, can you see him starting this game today? He'll probably start ahead of Donny van der Beek, Bruno Fernandes, to be honest with you. I've said, that we will obviously play Fernandes, van der Beek and Pogba all in the same team. That won't happen. Bruno Fernandes didn't start against RB Leipzig, did he? But he did come off the bench and obviously got an assist, and he showed his quality. Bruno Fernandes has been at Manchester United now for around 9 months. The vast majority of his goals have come from the penalty spot, Bruno Fernandes is. Last season won Premier League Player of the Month around 3 times and won some Matt Busby Player of the Year award. I think when we signed Bruno Fernandes, didn't he sign a 5-year contract with a football club with an option of a further year? Don't forget, quite a few weeks ago, there was reports coming out saying that Bruno Fernandes had lost faith in Solsjaer and he was demanding him out of the club and he was having a go at the board over the lack of signings. But it turned out not true because Bruno Fernandes denied that he had a bust-up with Solsjaer during that 6-1 loss to Tottenham. And Fabrizio Romano confirmed there was no problem with Bruno and Ollie, so that was obviously very, very good. But I think Bruno is one of the best signings we've made under the Solskjaer era. And he's one of the best signings we've probably made since the Sir Alex Ferguson era, isn't he? So there. I can see Scott McTominay starting this game. Scott McTominay didn't start against RB Leipzig, but he did come on. I think McTominay's done very, very well recently, so I have got to give him a lot of credit. I know that I've criticised Scott McTominay before, but McTominay has been part of the club for several years. And was it just after the first lockdown? He committed his future with Man United because he signed a 5-year contract with the football club. If McTominay starts, he'll start ahead of Matic. If McTominay doesn't start, then there's a possibility chance that Matic, could start, couldn't there? So he's got a decision to make there. I don't see Matic starting this game today, though, to be honest with you. I know Matic started against RB Leipzig, but Matic has actually lost his place in the team. Matic, though, did have some good games towards the end of last season. That's one thing I will say. Was it at the start of the season? Matic signed a 3-year contract with the football club. Matic has been at the club now a good 3 years or so. Got him from Chelsea for around £40 million back in 2017. Fred, I can see him being involved in this game because Fred is undroppable at the moment. I think he might not start, but he might be involved. Maybe he does need a rest because he started our last 4 games, like I said. But he's done very, very well. I like the way he's kept the ball. He's dictated the play well. He's passed the ball well. And he's been very mobile. We paid big money for Fred. We paid £52 million for him from Shakhtar Donetsk a few years ago. Fred has got a contract with the football club until 2023. You know what I mean? Luke Shaw, he'll play. Harry Maguire, I think he'll play as well. Lindelof, he'll probably start the game. And Wan-Bissaka, he'll keep his place in the team. And De Gea, he will remain in goal. De Gea, to be fair, he's rejuvenated himself, hasn't he? David De Gea. As you all know, we've got 5 players unavailable. Alex Telles is not available because he recently got tested positive for COVID-19. Solsjaer confirmed though that he's got no symptoms. Alex Telles was absent from the squad for the RB Leipzig game. He didn't play any part in the Chelsea game, Alex Telles. I think Telles though is going to be a very, very good signing for Man United. We got him for around €15 million with add-ons included, and he signed a 4-year contract with the club with an option of a further year, did Alex Telles. Solskjaer's hoping that he recovers from COVID-19, obviously. Eric Bailly's not available. He's out for a few weeks with a muscle injury, and that's my element of concern about Eric Bailly. He is too injury prone. Phil Jones, he's injured and he's had an operation, like Ollie said in the press conference, but Solskjaer said, Jones could still play a part this season, maybe after Christmas. Jesse Lingard, he's not available either. To be fair, Jesse Lingard has got a good goal-scoring record against Arsenal, hasn't he? He wouldn't have played anyway, even if he was available, because he doesn't get in the team now regularly. Anthony Martial's obviously not available. He's got 1 game to serve in his 3-match suspension that he got given, because he did get sent off in our 6-1 defeat to Tottenham. So there you go. Tuan Zebe, I'd like to see him involved today. Tuan Zebe, I think, came on against RB Leipzig, didn't he? He did really, really well in the PSG game, did Tuan Zebe, and that was his first start for Man United in 10 months, wasn't it? But yeah, there's a lot of United fans that have said they don't want to see the same lineup as we saw against Chelsea, because obviously the lineup went against Chelsea didn't work, did it? Probably want to see a similar lineup, to the game against RB Leipzig. But, Solskjaer's obviously, going to make some changes, isn't he? Now, after Arsenal, we've got Istanbul Başakşehir. That's our other opponent in the Champions League group stage. And then it's obviously, Everton. We've had a great start to our Champions League campaign. We've had back-to-back wins, beaten PSG and we're beating RB Leipzig. So we registered 6 points from 2 games. I'm very confident that we are going to get into the knockout stages of the Champions League. But yeah, Ollie does deserve more time at Manchester United, doesn't he? Obviously, this is his second season at the football club. And I think if Man United can get a top 4 finish this season, and if we can win a trophy, I think that would represent a good season for Manchester United. And if we can do this, it'll give Man United something to build on, won't it? I think at some point, we could challenge for the Premier League title. You know what I mean? But Solsjaer has been at Manchester United now for almost 2 years. I think he's been at the club now around 22 months. He's been permanent Manchester United manager for around 19 months. And Solskjaer has got a contract with the football club until 2022. And reflecting now on his been at the football club, he has gained managerial experience as Ollie. Because Man United is obviously the third club in his managerial career. Before he was at Man United, he was at Mould. He won a few Norwegian titles at Mould. And before he was at Mould, he was at Cardiff. Solskjaer enjoyed a very short tenure with Cardiff. The main explanation he got sacked from Cardiff is because he ended up getting Cardiff relegated, didn't he? But yeah, I like Solskjaer a lot. He's a club legend. He was a great player for the football club for 11 years. He flourished under Alex Ferguson's guidance. Obviously, a few weeks ago, there was obviously talks of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer getting sacked by the football club, wasn't there? Because he was under serious pressure, and obviously there was Mauricio Pochettino has been the favourite to replace Ole. It also mentioned that we was looking at Massimiliano Allegri as an alternative to him. And I think Solskjaer, it seems to be a big game manager because we have beaten a lot of big teams, since he got recommended in. Solskjaer's beaten Julian Nagelsmann. He's beaten Thomas Tuchel. Last season, beat Pep Guardiola 3 times, beat Frank Lampard 3 times, and he's already overcome Jose Mourinho once. So he has showed a lot of tactical flexibility in a lot of the big games, and that's something I've got to credit him for, Obviously, Ollie's spent over £200 million since he became Man United manager, and he's enjoyed around 4 transfer windows at the football club. We've seen a lot of players depart the club since he got recommended in. I also like the way that Ole has promoted the youth. I credit him for what he did last season, because last season he got us third, he got us to 3 semi-finals, and he got us qualification for the Champions League. And last season was his first full season at the club, and we've also had some good periods under him. We're in a good period now because we are unbeaten in our last 4 games in all competitions, aren't we? Went on a 19-game unbeaten run in all competitions at the second part of last season, and did well in that 3-month period when he was the interim manager. I think in the summer transfer window, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer wasn't backed enough, because obviously we missed out on all of his priority targets, and we missed out on a lot of targets in general, didn't we? So he does need more backing, does Ole. And Solskjaer revealed a few times during the summer transfer window that he was very infuriated with the board. I don't think any of our managers have been backed enough that we've had since the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We're already making plans for next year, because obviously we want to make a couple of more signings next year. I think we need a centre-half, and we also need a right winger. We'll obviously offload more players next year. I think next year we'll be looking to offload Jesse Lingard, Marcus Rojo, Phil Jones, Sergio Romero. He said he wants his contract terminated. Daniel James, I think we could loan him out. Brandon Williams. I think, we could also loan him out as well, because you can say now he's lost his place in the team as Williams. Could Matic be sold next year? Could Juan Mata be even sold next year? So there you go. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, like, explore on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.